Welcome back to Behind the Box. Today we're bringing you a review of a game that's currently on Kickstarter called Spirits of the Forest. This was given to us by Board Game Exposure, so thanks to them. And full disclosure, we've not paid for the game, but that won't impact the quality of the review.
So, Spirits of the Forest is a set collection game for 1 to 4 players. Each turn, players will draft spirit tiles from the Spirit Forest. These tiles will have one of 9 spirit symbols on them, and possibly one of 3 element symbols as well. At the end of the game, you go through each spirit symbol, and whoever has the most of any one of them scores points. And if there's somebody that has none of certain spirits, then they score negative points. You also, on top of this, have spirit gems, and these gems can be used to block and sort of reserve different spirit tiles from the Spirit Forest from other people.
And that gives you a lot of interesting choices each turn. So you might be thinking to yourself, not only what tiles do I want, what do I need, but also what are other people going to want, what do they need? And so you're thinking, okay, should I put this gem somewhere that's going to block someone from getting what they want, or should I put the gem somewhere that's going to protect what I want next turn that I wasn't able to get this turn?
Yeah, the gems as well. The gems are probably my favorite thing in the game because, like you said, you can block or kind of reserve certain spirit tiles that you want, but there is a way past it. If you actually want a tile that someone else's spirit gems on, you can still take it. You just have to sacrifice one of your own spirit gems, and when that happens, making that decision, it causes a shift in the power dynamic, the balance between the players, because all of a sudden you have less control over what other people can start looking to take. But it might have really been worth it for you to have done that.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah.
It's such a cool mechanic. I really like that part of it. And yeah, like you said, just choosing when to take certain things, which spirits to kind of choose to take and get more points on and try and beat other people. So just a cool little mental puzzle.
Yeah, it's more than you would initially think there would be to think about. When you first learn the game, you think it's going to be simpler than it really is. Now, I suffer a lot from analysis paralysis. Sometimes it's hard for me to make decisions if there's too much information. And luckily, I didn't get that too much in this game, so that was good for me.
That's good. So, onto the positives with it. The game is beautiful. All of the graphic design, the color choices, the box, how the inlay goes in, it's all just so beautiful. Each of the spirits has its own unique little picture. Each of the spirit tiles has its own color, as well as its own tile background pattern. So it makes it really just nice to look at when you've got the whole thing laid out on the table.
Yeah.
It makes such a nice visual just thing in front of you. It's so nice.
It's very pretty. And you mentioned, the inside of the box. They've done a really good job of designing it and using every last bit of space, so there's no wasted space. We think that what we've been given is something very close to the
retail edition of the game.
Yeah.
Because this is technically a review copy of the game, even though I think it is pretty close to being the retail version of the game. Yeah, it's really nice. It's super fast. Takes about 20 minutes to play.
Yeah.
Takes about 3-4 minutes to explain to other people. Takes a couple minutes to set up, a couple minutes to put away. You can have the whole thing done with brand new people within half an hour, which is great for a nice light filler game.
Yeah. I think that's just the ticket. That's exactly how I would explain, this game. It really does fit into a night of gaming. It breaks it up for you, so it's good.
It does. I do have one sort of issue for how simple the mechanics are and how quick and easy it is to play. I do find that there's a lot to keep track of for your own, because like I said, there's 9 different spirits as well as 3 different elements. You want to have more on some of them than other people have, so you've not only got to keep track of your own spirits and what you've still got to collect, but also what other people have, make sure you beat people and that no one's beating you. And so there's a lot going on, and each time we played it, there's always been somebody that at the end's gone, that was really good, I loved it, it was a lot of fun, but I didn't score any points, I didn't know what was going on. And that I think it's just because it's so busy. As you play it more, that becomes a little easier, and I think it doesn't help as well for newer people that even though there are 9 spirits with unique art and unique colours, some of the colours are quite similar to other colours. There's a couple of different tones of brown, a couple of purples, a couple of sort of greys.
Yeah.
And so you do wind up, the first time I played the game, I played it 3-player, me and 2 friends. We all had 5 spirits. And I was like looking at the board thinking, do I have 4 left to get still? I can't see. And I asked the other 2 players and they both thought they'd had all of them at 5. So we checked the rule book, saw that there were 9, and spent a few minutes trying to plan out, okay, well, what actually don't we have? And eventually we started seeing these differences, but at first you don't see them.
Yeah, you do need pretty good eyesight when you're playing this game. I would definitely suggest sitting at a smaller table where you can be closer to the board, because while they've really designed the art well and everything's unique and nice with all the different colors, like you said, some of the colors are quite similar, and also the shape of the spirits, it can be hard to discern them
sometimes
from each other if you're a little further away, or if your eyesight's not that great, maybe you forgot your glasses. So I would recommend sitting tight, sitting close, and making sure you've got your glasses or contacts, if you're playing the game.
The only other thing I have as like a negative for the game is the rulebook seems to imply that the objective is to be the person that collects all 9 of the spirits. In every game we've played, apart from there was one game where the person that collected all 9 spirits tied. If somebody collected all 9, they didn't win. And it's because they'd spread themselves too thin. You kind of want to go for a couple less, like maybe 6 different spirits, and try and get a lot more of like 3 or 4 of those. And then just take the losses in points for the ones you didn't get.
Yeah.
Because you can just then hit a couple a lot harder and get a ton of points because of that.
I would say in a 2-player game, that's an entirely different type of game. Way different strategy, different experience, and quite often you can easily get 9 in that one.
Because you've still got all the forest available to you, but only 2 people taking them, so we've never had an issue both getting 9.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me on to my final thoughts, is I really like it, and I think part of it is because it plays really well at 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players, and it's a different game at each one. The Spirit Gems have different... Not like they're not different, but they have different levels of power effectively when you've got more people to control. Or if it's just one person, you can really strategize and think, right, what are they going to take? I'm going to try and make it either really hard for them to take it, or just make it so they just go, right, you can have that. I'm not going to try. And that's such a cool way of playing a really light filler game that has all that extra levels of strategy and depth. I really like it. The production's fantastic. It's a lovely little box. Great value. It's like £10 on Kickstarter.
Yeah, right. I was going to mention that for my pluses. Yeah, so I do really like this game. I know we've talked about how it's more complex than you would think it would be for how simple you think it is. But that sounds weird. But yeah, it is an enjoyable game, and after like maybe 2 playthroughs, you really get a knack for it, and it starts becoming really fun. And definitely for the money that you're putting into it, you're getting something that's great quality, awesome components, terrific art, and it's just a lovely filler. I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave the link to the game and the Kickstarter down below, so if you want to learn a bit more, see what sort of stretch goals that they've got on there and different pledge levels that you can go in at, take a look at them. We'll leave as well links to Board Game Exposure. I say this every time we get a game from them, but they are a fantastic community of people, so go join up, say hi, and we'll leave all of our social media down below as well. But yeah, until the next one, we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. In full disclosure,
then we're starting again, you did like a little my camera.
Oh, sorry, you looked at me so quickly, it was like I made a mistake. Alright, sorry.
Coward in fear.
Very much. Oh my god.